American Idol. What is the name and where are you from?
My name is Luke Morgan. I am from New Jersey,
Oh, New Jersey.
down the shore.
Wait, well, how far down the shore? Cape May?
No, not that far. I'm about an hour from here, around the Manasquan area, Asbury Park. New Jersey's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
I'll be back there pretty semi-frequently.
What can you tell me about the Jersey Shore? Because there's so many beaches, but I don't think there's a lot of good reviews of the beaches on the internet.
I'll tell you about the beaches in New Jersey. They're beautiful
Yes.
if you know where to look.
Yeah.
Because New Jersey's a very, it's not a very uniform place, and New Jersey gets a bad rap from the show,
Yeah.
Jersey Shore.
Right.
When someone brings up the Jersey Shore,
Yeah.
they think Snooki. That's Seaside Heights.
Yeah.
Seaside Heights is debatably trashy. The beaches are not very clean.
Yeah.
But I worked there for a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Back in my heyday in Jersey, I worked at Seaside Heights, and I'll tell you, if you can't come to the Jersey Shore and have fun, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They got beautiful bars down there, beautiful people, great friends. Who's got the best women?
Yeah.
You know who's got the best women? Florida. Florida
What about
has,
Jersey Shore though?
down in the Jersey Shore.
Because I know of Atlantic City, Cape May, Ocean City,
Yeah.
Wildwood.
So you know the four main cities that are way down south,
Yes.
the Jersey Shore.
Yeah. Because I went on Google, I typed in Jersey Shore, and they told me to go to those places.
Yeah, they're telling you to go to the furthest places you possibly can.
Yes.
The most beautiful women in the Jersey Shore, Red Bank, Rumson. You get a little bit down. You got Asbury Park, Deal.
Yeah.
Deal's a lot of the rich Jewish communities in Deal. But a little bit above that, Long Branch, they have a place called what's it called? There's a community in Long Branch. They have complexes down by the beach, and that's where a lot of beautiful women down there. Great friends, great environment.
Yeah.
Can't speak highly enough about it.
Are we being sexist when we're talking about something like this?
I don't think so. I'm a straight man.
Yeah.
I think about women a lot.
I
I think that's natural.
Yeah.
Sexism, I guess, nowadays comes in many different forms. If you want to speak about sexism, a lot of people speak about employment, wages, whatnot. But
So what brings you here to New York?
brings me here to New York. I love being around people. I think people are human beings. I guess are the most evolved creatures on the planet
Right.
in the history of our planet. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. I do think a lot long-term, big idea. I truly am blessed to be a human being on planet Earth in the year 2020. Well, it's 2021 now, but I truly I feel very blessed to be around people. I like to be where the most people are, to see new places, meet new people, see things that I would never dream of.
Right.
You'll only find that in this place. That's what draws me here.
Now, do you find you have to go through a lot of bad people to get to the good ones?
That's an interesting question. Because undeniably, and we've seen this in the past 5-6 years, there are a lot of debatably very immoral people that live here. People that only look out for themselves, only look out for their own special interests. And I guess there is something to be said about a person who genuinely only looks after themselves. Can't fault them because I guess in America, especially here in New York, we've built a system where it's almost advantageous to only look after yourself. Am I saying those people are bad people? Absolutely not. But I do think that America would be better served if we had a lot of more civilians, a lot more people in the public sector and the private sector who look after, the average American.
Yeah.
Poor Americans, middle-class Americans, I'm very, very middle class. My parents don't make a ton of money, so growing up, I wish there were more people who looked after us instead of themselves.
So you say you like meeting people. Do you meet a lot of random people?
I do.
Can you tell me about some examples?
Um,
You meet people in the park?
I meet people
You
in the park.
approach them, they approach you?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I don't like to brag. It's not bragging, I guess, but I'd say I'm a pretty approachable guy.
Yeah.
You know, when I have my headphones on, a lot of people don't come and approach me, which is, I guess that's a bad habit of mine, is I keep my headphones on a lot.
Yeah.
But I meet a lot of really great people here, and it's really expanded my view on a lot of things. You know, there's something special about meeting somebody and realizing that they've lived a greater life than you could ever imagine. They've fought in wars. They've been to a million different countries. They've seen things that you could only hope to see in your wildest dreams, and I almost enjoy living vicariously through those interactions.
Yeah.
Because I know that I am an ambitious guy, and I set a lot of nice goals for myself, but I'm never going to be able to see everything that this earth has to offer, and so I do enjoy meeting people, and I live vicariously through them.
Now, are there any people that stand out to you in particular that you've met?
I tell you what, there's a kid here that plays the saxophone every day,
Yeah.
Augie.
Oh, I saw him today.
I see Augie a lot, and you know what? I'll tell you.
He's over there right now.
I'll tell you something about Augie.
Yeah.
There's people that you see that you know are superstars,
Yeah.
and you know we live in a time where being a celebrity
Right.
is not always the best course that you could take in your life, but there is something to be said about somebody who exudes success, confidence, talent,
Yeah.
and so those are the most interesting people I meet that I could say to my kids, you know, oh my God, this guy who's on television now, I used to see him playing music in the park.
Right.
You know, and we often start somewhere, and it's so interesting to me to see, especially now in New York, there are tons and tons of Americans that are going to grow up right now to be incredible people, and just to be around those people in their beginning, in their heyday, that makes me excited. And those are the most interesting people I meet around here for sure.
Now, I talked before about like going through the bad ones to get to the good ones.
Right.
Did you have to go through the bad ones? Some lunatics that you met out
Tell me
there?
out some money, guys, please.
Hey, what's up?
Tell me out some money, say please. I apologize.
Say that again. I didn't
That
hear
was
you. Oh, sorry. Yeah, let me see what I got. If I have I might not have any cash. No, I got nothing. I only got my vaccine card. I'm sorry. Can you
Yeah,
repeat the
I'm
question?
talking about going through the bad ones.
Go through the bad one.
Any negative experiences? Because you know, like when you put yourself out there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're bound to meet like people who I would say have negative energy, or people who I don't know, people who perhaps are not in the right place in their head.
Well, a lot of people chalk that down to, I guess the word mental illness is very broad. And if you want to envelope all, you know, detached people or people who are detached from reality into that category, then I suppose I do see a lot of mentally ill people. The funny thing is actually, is that even when I see those people, I understand that there has been an entire life of struggle on those people, and I don't fault those people.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I could be just where they are in a heartbeat by one bad decision. The most negative energy I get is from, and you know, I don't like to talk about politics a lot, but there is a lingering sense that there's a lot of, I'll say this, in New York City, in cities around the globe, there's a lot of moral superiority that goes on. There's a lot of people I come across that they look at you and they say, I'm better than you. And that's wrong. That's where I get the most negative energy from, where they think that their beliefs and their culture and their identity is better than yours. And you know, it feels almost that I am a target because of who I am, because I'm a male, because I'm Anglo-Saxon, I'm white, right? That I do I do experience a lot of racism nowadays, actually. And I do experience a lot of people who assume that I have a set of beliefs because of how I look and the way I dress.
You
And
talk about from minorities.
not only that, definitely not only for minorities. I think there, and you know, race is such a divisive topic now. It comes from everybody. It comes from people who assume the worst of you just by looking at you, and you can sense it. You can absolutely sense it, and there's a lot of negative energy that floats around around here. And you know, I do blame. You know, you have to place some blame on the former president, right? I mean, there's no doubt that the culture he created here is an absolutely divisive culture. But I'll leave you with this: America's a very strong place. I meet a lot of great people who want the best for this nation, and I do too. And one day I hope that I can be in a position where the change that needs to be made will be made, and that I can help facilitate that. But right now, I see a lot of hatred and a lot of unenthusiastic patriotism, where people, I think, see that this place is going to shit and blame others for it, and I don't think that's the case.
No, one of the things that I get from New York is that it's a very defensive city. Like people seem suspicious of each other. Like when you walk up to somebody. Do you find that to be true?
No.
No? So when you approach people, they're generally very I don't know, they presume you to be innocent until proven guilty. Because I have had people tell me that people are guilty until proven innocent, especially women.
Well,
I had one woman who said that she doesn't even talk to any men.
did she give you a reason?
She said it was because she had bad experiences with other men.
With other men?
Yeah.
Listen, there are good people, there are bad people. In terms of approaching, I have no problem approaching anybody. I assume everybody is the best possible person they can be, even though I know it's not true. It's good to assume. But I do think that probably exists. Not within myself. But I do think that probably exists where people assume the worst, and that goes back to what I was saying before, where you know, people will take one look at you and assume that, oh, if I start talking to that guy, he's going to, you know, he's going to place his hands on me, or he's going to sexually assault me. That's a part of advice I got for young people.
Right.
I've 3 pieces of advice for young people.
Yes.
We gotta learn to respect our elders,
Yes.
for real, because they know so much better than us. And I understand the boomer joke is fine and stuff, but I think that there's generally been a disrespectful of elders culture here. I think that's wrong. We need to learn to love each other. We live in a time where I've said it a million times during this interview, like, people just jump to the gun and want to hate you. We need to learn to love each other and, like, do what you want to do. Because, like I said, you can learn anything you want to by going to a library and picking up a book. And if you want to do something, all you need to do is bunker down and learn it. And there's always going to be a job for you. There's always going to be a place for you in society. Never think that, if life, kicks you down, there's always going to be a comeback for you. And my advice for society would be we should get rid of those political parties, the reds and the blues. We should learn to lean that out, because that's causing a lot of damage to the fabric of where we live, for sure.
Now, you said earlier that you're not doing social media, right?
Yeah.
Well, what's that like, living in a day and age where everybody's on it and you're not?
It's hard. I'll tell you what, it's one of my values. I don't enjoy it. I never have. I think it's a rather toxic presence in society, is the social media. But at the same time, it's almost like I almost want to get back on it because I know that that's the only way I'm gonna meet people, and I'm at a disadvantage right now because I don't use it. I'm in a better mindset because I don't use it, and I know that that toxic mentality is gonna get right back to me the second I get back on it. But man, dude, that's one of my biggest concerns is where we're headed with that social media, because I want to tell people to live without it, but then I don't want to put them in the same disadvantage that I'm at, where it's impossible to meet people, it's impossible to date, it's impossible to do anything without having an Instagram account or a Facebook page or being on Twitter and following all these politicians. Like it's echo chamber nonsense. It makes people so angry and hateful, but you know, you feel the pressure every day to get on it.
So how do you keep in touch with people then?
I text them, I call. I text and I call, and it's more effort on my part to reach out and love the people that I want to love.
Yeah.
And you know, you find quickly that without social media, the people that don't really care about you disappear from your life, which is a good thing, but also a bad thing because I enjoy having lots of friends, and I feel like my friend count has dwindled for sure ever since I've been off of it, which is sad. But because I think what happens is that I think that girl sees you, and what she's thinking is, oh, I want to go on his social media and check out exactly what he's like, because people keep their entire lives on the internet for anyone to see.
Right.
That makes me uncomfortable. I don't want somebody to look at me and say, I need to go to Luke Morgan's Instagram account and check out what he's like. That makes me genuinely uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But it's a necessity in this day and age, and it's the wrong path we're on. They need to regulate it, but that's reality. That's the place we live.
And it seems like a lot of times people are judged based on how many followers they have.
Always.
Because I'm looking at people on average seem to be having like 2,000 followers.
Which is ridiculous because nobody has 2,000 friends.
Yeah.
But they'll have 2,000 followers on Instagram. If their ratio's off. What happens if your ratio's off?
Yeah.
You're a loser
Right.
if your ratio's off.
That's the thing. Anytime like someone has
It's ridiculous.
100, 2,000, you're kind of like tempted to judge this person and say, oh, why is this count so low?
And you know, the news makes it worse because when there's a celebrity or a politician or someone famous in the news, they always need to mention, oh, this Caitlyn Jenner, she's got so million followers. She's a powerful person.
Yeah.
This actor has 20 million, 10 million followers.
Yeah.
What a powerful person. They could use their platform to make change. Nobody listens to them. The follower counts don't matter, but there's such an obsession about it that life has become superficial in a way. It's based on how many followers you have on Twitter and how many likes you get on your tweets and how many retweets you get.
And you know, the funny thing with that is a lot of people, they end up not even managing their own account. I met a guy here that had 200K followers, and I kind of asked him, like, how do you keep this thing going? I only have like 200, and I can't keep up with all the likes and the comments and stuff like that. This guy's got 200K, and he told me something to the effect that he hired somebody to manage it for him.
I imagine, yeah.
So it's like
there's money
that
there.
defeats the purpose, I feel like, because like you want to be able to connect with people, you want to be able to genuinely respond to things and see what people who care about you, are saying and thinking. When you go up to 200K, or even like some people, they have 5K or whatever it is, right? They're not using it to their advantage anymore, because then they're just swamped with notifications and all this stuff, and it's almost like not even having social media.
Yeah.
Once you get up to that that level, and a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of these guys with 200K, 300K followers, when they respond to you with those emojis, it's not actually them doing it.
No.
Because they're hiring people to just like, it's almost like spamming people with these emojis to make you think that this guy cares about you. I believed it, and then I asked him, I'm like, do you actually check this stuff? He's like, no, I hire people to do it for me.
Well, it's about image.
Yeah.
It's about image and it's about reputation, and it's become a business.
Yeah. And that kind of dehumanizes it. It dehumanizes the whole interaction.
It does it does to a degree,
Yeah.
because you need to know that there's always a human behind that,
Yeah.
and I think I know that it's not true, but I hope in the future that most people understand that the person behind the account is not the person that they're portraying themselves to be.
Yeah.
These are the people they want to be, not the people they are.
No, game changers. Have you had anything that happened to you in your life that made you want to change the way you live your life?
I always, when I was a kid, I always wanted to change the world, and I know a lot of people do, but I genuinely have so much faith in this nation that I did want to go into politics at a young age, and my experiences in college and throughout these last elections, I think have discouraged me from
Yeah.
bringing my talents to the public sector.
Yeah.
Because I am a talented guy, I'm a smart guy, I have a lot of great ideas, but
Right.
we're never going to be